Kiki roamed around the streets day after day, searching for any man willing to help her survive. It was the only life she had ever known. She welcomed anyone without restriction. If you had strong desire, you were told to come to Kiki's house. Strangers, though, travelers, and even men from different villages knew it. They arrived at her house freely at any time just to do with her. She welcomed them with open hands. "You are welcome, oh," she always said. Even when multiple men walked into her home at the same time, Kiki invited them with a big grin on her face. She was a living curse to the village women. They gossip about her at every chance they got, calling her names like husband snatcher, one said, and the others agreed because Kiki had succeeded in ruining so many people's marriages. She snatched so many people's husbands that people wondered if she used charms or kayamata because the men couldn't keep themselves away from her. The other ladies tried so much, but they didn't even get a man to glance at them. The village men competed fiercely just to be Kiki's first choice. But for her, there was no promises, no guilt, no string attached. She couldn't care less as to what the other ladies said or did to her. Homebreaker, man stealer, they chanted. But she didn't give a damn. She moved through the village with her head up high. The men admired her openly, trailing behind her like a cat chasing a mouse. The women gathered in corners, eyes sharp with envy, but Kiki never flinched. She was used to it. She walked as if their stares meant nothing. They couldn't stop her. Their insult no longer touched her, as they were the same people who once spoke to her with so much disrespect and rudeness. Because there was a time Kiki used to hide herself about openly doing the do with men. But those days are gone. She doesn't hide it anymore. Open na water, big bowler requirements. Don't hide yourself, oh, knack. That was her favorite line. She said it so often that whenever she spoke, the women around would glare at her in annoyance, unsure whether she was insulting them or daring them to answer back. As they couldn't find any man willing to do with them, it was all because of Kiki. Even Kiki found it amusing. She was wayward. The villagers were so confused because she was never like this. She used to be so shy. But things changed when her parents died due to a car crash last year, December. She was so pained. Then she promised to live her life to the fullest, and her true identity was revealed. Kiki grew up as a very smart and curious child. She learned quickly, answered questions without hesitation, and her intelligence stood out. The villagers praised her whenever they could. Soon, she became a role model to the village children. The village mothers began praying that their children would grow up as wise as Kiki. But there was one problem. Kiki's sharp mind led her into places she shouldn't be. Her curiosity had no limits. She wanted to know everything, always asking questions, and whenever her parents shut the door to have fun, she would linger outside, listening closely, imagining what was happening inside. Why is my mother shouting so loudly? She wondered. She would walk to the door, knock gently, and call her name. The door never opened. The crying only grew louder, and after that, she would always ask, "Mommy, why were you crying so much last night?" Her mother would shake her head and say, "It is nothing. You are too young to understand." But she didn't believe her. It just couldn't be nothing. So she began to listen more closely and to search for answers on her own. But she couldn't really place her finger on it. But as she grew older, she slowly understood the truth, but stayed silent. She eagerly wanted to know why it made her mother cry so loudly. One day, she chose to experiment it herself with someone she trusted, her closest friend. She invited him over, and everything changed after that. It was awkward at first, but she liked it after. That day, she couldn't stop. Not a single day passed by without Kiki opening her door to a new man. And it was easy for her. Her parents were always away, traveling for work. And because of that, she secretly began seeing different men around the village. Everything was done quietly, so no one ever noticed. Even her own parents had no idea. What started as curiosity soon turned into something she craved deeply. Before long, it became a routine. One man would slip out through the back door just as another one is stepping inside. Their movements were careful, calculated, and hidden. That was why the villagers never imagined anything unusual was going on with Kiki. Then one day, things changed. Her parents stayed home longer than usual. They didn't travel like they normally did, and for the first time, Kiki struggled to keep her secrets buried. She wanted to opwe, but she couldn't as her parents were at home. So she dragged her boyfriend into the village bush, and there it happened. Unluckily for her, a group of community ladies were heading to the stream to fetch water. They caught them red-handed. Eh? So this is what you have been doing, eh, Kiki? One said, what are you even doing here? Her heart stopped. She never imagined she would see them here. Please, I am begging you, keep my secrets. You are very shameless, hated, so respected, yet you are here doing nonsense with this idiot. One said to her, your father must hear about this. What would he do? Another woman asked. Or have you girls forgotten what her father used to do? She said, when her mother, Zainab, was in labor. Ah, yes, so it's true. Another woman shook her head. Like father, like daughter. But that doesn't mean anything. We are still going to report her to her parents. She just turned 20 and look at everything she's doing, they said among themselves, and began to walk away. But she followed them and pleaded for mercy. Again and again, she begged, promising each woman a gift. That was when they finally let it go. But Kiki couldn't shake what they said about her father. She wanted to turn back and ask, but instead she walked away. And that night, she decided to uncover the truth herself. She already knew who to see. Mama Ebuka, the woman who carried everyone's secrets in the village, yet guarded her own like buried gold. Her mouth flowed faster than a broken tap. One evening, she went to her house. Good evening, Mama, she said softly. What brings you here, my daughter? Something was said about my father. What is it, dear? Mama Ebuka said. It was said it happened when my mommy was in labor 20 years ago. Do you know anything about it? Mama Ebuka laughed. There is nothing I don't know, she said. Let me just... Oh, I remember. It was when your mother gave birth to you. Your father wanted to do the do with her again. Your mother screamed, and that was how the villagers rescued her. Funny story, right? Your father is an opwe master. Kiki smiled. Like father, like daughter indeed, she said to herself as she thanked Mama Ebuka. Well, I'm just like him. I love it too. She laughed as she resumed her daily activities. But when her parents died, everything changed, and there was no one to report her to her parents. She was all alone in the village now, and she poured her heart into having fun with men. It started with her seeing two men at the same time, giving them equal attention. She grew restless, always wanting the next thrill. According to her, she wanted to experience life to the fullest. And Kiki had a face and figure that turned heads without effort. She was so beautiful, the kind of beauty that doesn't need makeup. Just one smile, and men found themselves drawn to it, chasing after her without thinking. It was then that the village ladies knew that they were in hot soup. The men weren't asking the other ladies out anymore. It was just her. They were head over heels for her. They trailed behind her like hired guards, never leaving her side. Just 2 minutes, they begged. Kiki, please nah. Please help me. Don't abandon me like this. Just let me taste your sweetness. They humiliated themselves chasing her. And Kiki, careless with her own worth, allowed it. To her, it meant nothing. They said her sweetness was like honey, thick and addictive. She would finish and laugh, saying everyone wants Kiki, and they laughed with her. She mocked and ridiculed the village ladies because she had the men wrapped around her finger, especially the ones who threatened to report her to her parents. Now, their warnings meant nothing. Whenever she crossed paths with them, she laughed in their faces. Not even married women were spared because their husbands trailed after her, shamelessly showering Kiki with gifts and attention. Slowly, the women began to understand that standing next to Kiki and becoming friends with her was of advantage to them, as becoming her enemy was far so dangerous. So they swallowed their pride and drew closer to her. And so they went to the famous Opwe mistress Kiki, begging to be like her. Kiki laughed and said to them, I have something to teach you how to be like me. You attract men and they would be attracted to you too, she said, and cashed out while selling the books. It was written in the book how to upward the right way, different styles she had learnt. And so, everything Zara was teaching them was working for some, while some, it didn't. The village men ignored them. And the village that was filled with well-trained ladies were now filled with ladies that upward obsessively under Zara's influence. The older women in the village were so worried. They knew it was all because of Kiki. And so they called her and told her to stop living this wayward life, to plan her future. But she just ignored them. What is the meaning of all this? She didn't give a damn, and they came a day she regretted everything. That afternoon, Kiki was minding her own business, reading her book, and a man passed in front of her house. She couldn't believe what was written in front of her house. He laughed and laughed until he caught the attention of Kiki. Why are you laughing? What is funny? Or do you think my okwe is bitter? Come and try it. It's free now. Free of charge. Yes, so they went inside and started doing it. Kiki was so happy. She didn't even know who the man was from anywhere. She has never seen him before, yet she permitted him to do the do with her. And then time came for him to stand up. Stand up now. I can't, he said. What is this nonsense? Stand up. Let me freshen up. She pulled herself from him, but they couldn't separate. Is this a joke or what? She said to herself. They pulled and pulled, but they couldn't separate. That was when she realized the gravity of what was happening. I'm finished, the man screamed. My wife has used a charm on me. What charm? She questioned. It is a charm that is used by married people. So what? How does that concern me? Just stand up. I'm tired. I need to freshen up. I can't, he said. They were glued together. And then they started shouting. Help us, oh, help us, they shouted. And the people passing by rushed inside. They screamed. Kiki, what have you done to yourself? Soon the other villagers heard about it. And again, it reached the ears of the king. And he was very angry that Kiki had brought shame to the village and its people. The chief priest was later called in to uplift the curse. Kiki was so ashamed. News spread. And because of that, no man ever got close to her. They all kept their distance and Kiki was never the same again. The end. Thank you all for watching. Share with me your thoughts about this story in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Bye.